The purpose of human life might not be to stay. It might be to give birth to what comes next. In the last video, I talked about how the Earth might be one single living organism, an idea that scientist James Lovelock called the Gaia hypothesis. This led to some of you in the comments saying that if we're one living organism, then maybe we are destroying ourselves. Lovelock didn't disagree, but towards the end of his life, he came to an unsettling but hopeful conclusion. He said that in order for Gaia to survive, she is preparing to move beyond biology altogether. We are standing at the dawn of the Novacene. James Lovelock released his first book, Gaia, in 1975, in which he proposed that the Earth is a self-regulating system. He released his final book at age 100 in the year 2019, talking about the end of the human age. The book was called Novacene and discussed the coming age of hyperintelligence. He wrote this in 2019, so this was before AI even really entered the general public consciousness. It was before the release of ChatGPT. It was before the concern of AI alignment was really mainstream. So he wasn't speculating wildly in response to headlines. He was calmly observing a trajectory that he believed was already inevitable. Lovelock's central claim is simple, that biological life is not the end point of intelligence. In just the same way that bacteria gave rise to plants, and plants to animals, and animals to humans, humans are now giving rise to electronic beings that think faster, sense more deeply, and survive environments that we cannot. These beings, that Lovelock called cyborgs or hyperintelligences, would inhabit the Earth, but they would also regulate it. Why? Because beings that required circuitry and silicon and computation would require a stable environment. A planet that is too hot would break electronics just as surely as it would break biology. This is where Lovelock differs sharply from popular dystopian narratives. He doesn't believe there will be a huge war between man and machine. He doesn't think that AI is going to wipe us all out. In fact, he suggests the opposite, because any intelligent system emerging from Earth faces the same constraint that we do. The planet needs to be cool enough to operate. For that reason, Lovelock suggests that large-scale conflict is unlikely, not because machines are benevolent, but because mutual survival demands cooperation. Humans, machines, and the Earth itself become locked into shared necessity. The most unsettling part is that while cooperation might happen temporarily, Lovelock is clear about the long arc. Electronic life will eventually replace biological life. There won't be violence or rebellion. Humans will simply become obsolete. While biology is slow and fragile and bound to small temperature ranges, electronic life is faster and more adaptable. And Lovelock doesn't see this as tragic. At the end of Novacene, he writes, "We are now preparing to hand the gift of knowing on to new forms of intelligent beings." What's striking is the tone that Lovelock is taking. There's no clinging, no resentment, no bitterness. Instead, he is echoing something profoundly ancient. He says, "Do not be depressed by this. That which we are, we are." This is not far from the Buddhist teaching of impermanence, and the Taoist teaching that all forms rise and fall naturally, and the Hindu teaching that names and forms pass, but knowing itself continues. The Upanishads tell us that reality endlessly expresses and withdraws itself, just like breathing in and out. If this is true, then what is our role? We're not the rulers of Earth, and we're also not the destroyers of Earth. We're actually something kind of strange. We are the midwives to the next phase of knowing. Lovelock suggests that it doesn't really matter how long our species lasts. It just matters what we pass on. Curiosity, understanding, compassion. From a non-dual perspective, it's not human versus machine or nature versus technology. It is one unfolding process that was expressing itself through carbon and now is going to be expressing itself through silicon. Just as once life moved from ocean to land, from single cell to nervous system, now we're moving from biological life to electronic life. And if intelligence is fundamental, not accidental, if consciousness is woven into the fabric of reality, then this is just a continuation of nature. And nature isn't separate from us, we are nature. The Tao flows, Brahman unfolds, and Gaia adapts. If you want to hear more about how the Earth might be one living organism, then watch this video next.